Alright, well, let's get started. Okay, anyone that has any questions along the way, go ahead and just type those in. I'll answer them as they come in, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the program. If anyone has any questions for me, don't hesitate. I'm more than happy to change directions on the dime, talk about it, switch to the different sections. If it's more in-depth, I might skip until the end of the class, but we'll take a look. For anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Jeff Keller. I work for Gecko Software. I don't know if you're familiar, but Lan Turner, he is the owner, CEO of Gecko Software. I've been here for quite a while now. We make the track and trade products for futures, forex, and stocks. Today we're taking a look at track and trade live futures. Going to go through a bunch of the nuts and bolts of the software. Call me your track and trade mechanic. I'm the guy that gets in, adjusts all the fine-tuning components of the software. I'm not your trading advisor, but I certainly am your track and trade advisor. Also, our product Trade Miner, very popular. I know that also very well. We've had that for a long time, but we actually only released it to the public not too long ago. We're going to go ahead, jump in, and again, if you have something in the software you're specifically curious about, just tell me and we'll go over it. I'm more than okay with switching directions. So, let's see. And we actually have a question from Richie already. Let's see, how much to get started with the software? Excellent question, but also not the best question for me. I should also say I'm in no way a salesman. I'm really not, actually. Like I almost purposely don't learn the pricing so that I never have to answer a sales question. If you do ever want to find out the pricing, though, just go to our website, trackandtrade.com. That's track, the letter N, trade.com. And if you click on your futures, forex, stocks, whichever one you're interested in, it'll immediately pull up. You can check the pricing, if there's a data feed, anything like that. Real money trading available. But honestly, I'm really no salesman. Which is good. It means you get my honest opinion. I'll tell you if I think something works, if something doesn't, and hopefully you like that. All right, one last thing before we get started. I am also a bit of a tester. I am their computer geek here, so I like to try and break the software all I can to, poke it with a stick and make it surrender. So you get a benefit and also a risk. Benefit is I'm going to be using the test program for track and trade. It means that as we're going through, you're probably going to see all sorts of bells and whistles that haven't quite been released public yet. So if I spot one as we're going through, I tell you about it. We have some fun there. At the same time, if something's not entirely ready or done yet and the software randomly dies on me, it's because I'm also using a testing program. And that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to try and make it break before I give it out to all of you. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, if you're brand new to the software, or even if you just never took the time, watch these videos. Okay? As soon as you open up the program, how-to videos come in. You're more than welcome to give us a call, send us an email. But if you take the time to go through and watch these videos, they'll cut your learning curve in half just immediately. Okay, quick little 2-3 minute videos. They're all made by the owner, Lan Turner. I'm your mechanic. I go through and I teach you all the nuts and bolts, how it works. But Lan Turner, he's also a trader. So he tells you a lot of the why that goes along with the what, right? So be sure to take a look at these if you get a chance. And if you ever want some more videos, send me an email or give me a call because I have a list of about 30, 40 different recorded webinars, live classes that Lan did for groups of 200, 300 people, where he goes through and teaches different parts, different styles of trading. And if you're really nice, I'll give them to you. So, all right, that aside, do try and take a look at these if you get a chance. If you don't get this window anymore and you've been working in track and trade for a while, you can always bring it back by going to Help and Video Tutorials right there. All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and open up a chart. I'm going to open up the, I'm going to open up the S&P Mini Electronic. And I'm just going to open up an older contract here, and I'm going to zoom us in a bit right away just to make sure everyone can see okay. I know it's harder to see a window within a window. And I also try and keep my screen a little bit bigger to make sure everyone can see okay. All right, so I've opened up the daily chart, S&P, the Mini Electronic, and all I've got turned on is bulls and bears and volume and open interest. Okay, bulls and bears is making my red arrows on the screen. It's also color coordinating the price bars, yellow neutral, red bearish, and green bullish. And it also is giving us buy-sell signals as well. These signals will always be red. They'll just point up for long or down for short. Okay, so that's an important thing to note. And down here at the bottom, volume and open interest, volume in green, open interest in red. It's really easy to spot where this became the front month contract. Right, the contract that's going to expire next, because that's where all of a sudden the volume shoots up, open interest shoots up, and everyone starts going through and placing in their trades. Now there's a couple different tools in here, a lot of different options. I don't necessarily pick out exactly what I'm going to go over when I come into these. I really don't. So I may jump around a bit. Again, if you have stuff, write it in, and I'll jump over to it. But that being said, let's go through and tinker, look at some of the different sections, some of the different options, and we'll have some fun with it. All right. So right now, volume and open interest is what I have open, and it's also the first thing I'm going to close. I'm going to give us a little bit more chart. I'm going to go ahead and zoom us in, and to each his own. I like candlestick price bars. That's just something I got used to a long time ago, mostly from forex. So I just almost always switch over to that. You can use whichever you like, but this is what I like, so that's what we're going to look at. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make candlesticks my daily chart's default setting, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of the options. Go through and basically tinker, have fun, play with it, and learn what it does. All right, so when you're working within Track and Trade, you got a couple of different sections. It's good to understand where things are, how the software breaks down, and once you figure it out, it's really easy to maneuver. I mean, it's very user-friendly. You can get in there and you can really start fine-tuning the fine, small sections. But for the most part, you can just go through and get it the way you like it, set up within an hour, and then you never do it again. A couple little tidbits, tricks, things that I know, things that I like, and that just might help you out. First of all, bulls and bears is the most popular technical indicator that we sell. And again, I don't sell it. But if someone asks me what indicator works the most often, or what indicator you see most traders using, bulls and bears would be that one. Other technical indicators that I see most clients using, advantage lines, especially paired up with bulls and bears, actually. They tend to, well, they just seem to work well with each other. For lack of a better word, they play nice. They seem to complement each other. They cut out each other's whipsaw signals that don't quite make out, don't quite work, while at the same time they confirm signals pretty well, and I like that quite a bit. Another really popular technical indicator that actually has its own indicator window at the bottom, so you right-click in the chart, add indicator window. The KST, actually, is really popular as well, and it also tends to play really nice, work well with bulls and bears and advantage lines. Now, you pull in 3 indicators, 4 indicators, you start getting a lot of signals. It can get a little bit jumbled, and to each his own. If you want to keep it clean, cut it down, go ahead. But I don't necessarily see all of these arrows. I only see groupings. Okay. Specifically, I'm looking for signals that all agree. Okay. The KST, advantage lines, and bulls and bears are 3 separate technical indicators. They are not the same. They don't have the same parameters. They're not following the same rules. So if all 3 agree, I like that a whole lot more than just one. Right. I like the bulls and bears. I really do. I think it's good. I think it's actually excellent. While at the same time, I don't use it by itself. Because I don't believe any one indicator will get it right every single time. I just don't. I don't think there is a crystal ball, there isn't a magic indicator that will be right every single time. So I don't put all my eggs in one basket, right? I like to pair up different things. So I only take signals if several indicators agree. In this specific case, green is going to be our KST signals, reds are bulls and bears, and blue is our advantage lines. Now, interestingly enough, I open these up. These are just the default settings, okay? I didn't fine-tune this beforehand, and I do it all the time, especially if you've seen me in these before. The first thing I do is almost reflexively, I start going through and fine-tuning my signals. But even just with the default settings, several of these indicators really closely agree, okay? And I didn't pull this up beforehand either, in case anyone's wondering. I really do just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. So right here, all 3 of these indicators gave the same signal on the exact same price bar. Okay, and they were right before a big drop. All right, that is a great signal. Period. That is just fantastic. All right, just before that, these 3 also gave a signal about it going up, and they were right. Although in the end, what is it? After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 price bars, it does start to retrace down. Okay, so you have a retracement on that move. It does start going back up, and then of course you get all your signals to get out. So this one could potentially make you some money, but at the same time, you could get a whipsaw going through there. So we might actually want to try and fine-tune these indicators so we get our signals back here, right? Because right now, this is just the default settings for these indicators. It's the exact same thing you'd see if you pulled up forex for a 10-minute, or if you pulled up stocks for a weekly chart. All of these indicator settings, like advantage lines, bulls and bears, and you can see them just by clicking the little abbreviations in the bottom right. Okay, you can look at the results. It's the same across the board. Defaults are good. That's why they're the default. But it doesn't mean they're the best. All right, get in, have fun, enjoy the software. But if you really want to start getting some results, go through and actually really make the system your own. Fine-tune it, adjust it. Okay, traditional bulls and bears is good. It's not what I use though. Actually, I really don't. I actually for my trading.